Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Good morning, top of the morning, coming here from sunny California. You'll listen to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan. We're coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. That's how we do it around here, nothing but straight talk. My co-host is Mr. Keith Swanson. You guys know him. He's still the AI man. He started that mess around here after he started talking about AI. Now it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, it's doing everything. Wow, I mean, it's just in every profession. Some people want it, some people don't. But guess what? It's not coming. It's already here.
It's already here.
What? It's not going into place. It's going to be around forever. It's no turning back. Keith, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. Like Michael Jackson said, you're just another part of me. We're taking over. Okay.
Okay. Well, in some of these professions, you're saying somebody needs to take over. In other words, somebody needs to be in charge, and I don't know who that's going to be. But anyway, you guys, I just want to do a shout out and tell people don't lag behind.
No.
Get with it. AI won't replace you, but somebody like me who knows it just might do that.
They're making all the teachers and all the professors actually learn artificial intelligence right now. Learn the tools. Yeah.
You know, in fact, I just authored a book, be going to press in a few days. AI Made Simple, and one AI Made Simple for parents, which is so important because parents need to make sure they're the one to introduce their children to AI, not the street.
Yes.
They need to do it because there's a responsibility. Because keep watch, there are going to be some people going to end up behind bars, end up in lawsuits because they don't know how to use artificial intelligence responsibly, doing things that they can cause harm to other people. So,
especially generative AI. In fact, just got an alert on my computer about generative AI making videos, making fake videos, what they call deep fakes, okay? And they're getting so good, it's very hard to tell the real from the imaginary, okay? So that's a new scam now, putting deep fakes up. Yeah.
That's why I think they should start in kindergarten, because between the age of birth and 6 years old, you'd be surprised at sponge what can happen, what kids can learn. That's why teaching them a second language is important.
I mean, we're handing kids little devices, internet devices, at the age of 3 and 4 years old. So as soon as you hand them that smartphone to keep them busy, or that game to keep them busy, you got to start teaching them about AI and about computers right then. You can't wait. You can't wait till they get to be teenagers, because it's too late by then.
Too late. Well, you guys, we have a great show. We're going to talk about praying or planning. Which one are you doing? Are you just praying about it, or are you making plans?
Okay.
And we're going to look at how political loyalty, we are loyal to the party, we're loyal to this candidate. We're going to look at how political loyalty and religious dependency, have paralyzed, I'll say that again, political loyalty and religious dependency has paralyzed Black progress.
Yes, it has.
So we're going to wrap our mind around this fact. Waiting on God or waiting on the government. Who told us to sit still? Who told you to sit still? Loyalty to the party, faith to the pulpit. But who's loyal to wealth?
Mm-hmm.
That is the what they call it, massive destruction.
Yes.
That's that wealth. That's that wealth. Now, let me clarify this for those, before you start calling, getting mad, rolling your eyes, sending me emails and all that stuff. Oh, he's telling me check the phone number. Yeah, that's 444. I'm missing 1 4 there for people. Keith, put it in there for me. I missed that. It
Okay.
should be 444. I missed that other 4.
It's 444. Yeah.
Yes.
It's 1-669-444-9171.
Okay. Let me set the record straight. This talk show is not about disrespect to God. Trust me. I believe in wholeheartedly. It's no disrespect to the church. It's no disrespect to the ballot. But I like to ask a dangerous question. Have we confused faith and politics, faith and being passive, with what we need to do to move forward in this life? You know, for decades we have prayed for deliverance, voted for change, waited for rescue. Did that rescue come? Wow. And we are still not in control.
No.
We don't control banks. We don't control distribution.
No.
And we don't control policies. And that's what's important. Keith and I was talking before we began the show. We talked about it's okay. You know, people want to march. They want to cover the street. But what changes policy?
It changes policy.
So maybe the march shouldn't be in the streets. Maybe it should be in the front of the politician house or
yes.
At the White House. I mean, sometimes I think we misdirected about what it's going to take to make change.
Because I gave an example when we were actually off air, is that Minnesota has been going through that ICE thing for like 2 months, okay, going back and forth with ICE and blowing whistles and getting beat up and getting shot at, and nothing happened, right? They wouldn't budge, okay? Mm-hmm. But then white folks got on their reps, went down to Washington, D.C., okay? They got Homeland Security and ICE in front of those politicians, okay, and on those Senate panels and those congressional hearing panels. And like I said, just like Jesus, 3 days later, guess what? ICE pulled that surge, okay?
Wow. So we really have to rethink some things. I think we've gotten lost into a political strength, and we've gotten lost in waiting for God to do for us. You know, those who are really biblical, and you read it in Genesis, you know, it talks about dominion.
Yeah.
That I place, you know, you have dominion over the fowl, dominion over everything. But there's no place in the Bible that gives any man dominion over man.
Over man,
Search your scripture. Yeah. It does not give man over man.
No.
So we got to know where our power, where our strength. And just going to have a new way of teaching. Dr. Claude Anderson been telling us for years, if you want change, it's going to have to come through policy change. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, right.
If the policy doesn't move, if that needle doesn't move to the right, you're going to still be dancing in the street, mad at each other, really pitting people against each other, Democrat against the Republican, even families not speaking to each other because they don't ascribe to the same political party.
You know something that was very true that Dick Gregory said way before he died. He said information is power. Okay. And the thing is, what I've noticed, especially with politics and policy, okay, the thing is what the black folks are lacking is information, okay? We're going to have to stop watching CNN and CNBC and MSNBC and start watching C-SPAN where the policy is being made, okay? Instead of it being filtered to us, okay? Right. That's what we're going to start doing.
Well, we're going to have to start waiting for an outside savior and start building internal system. That's the key. Write that. Write that down. Right. Anybody listen, write that down. We'll have to stop waiting on outside saviors
Yeah.
and start building internal system.
Yeah. Yep.
The faith without works is dead. The Bible tells us that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's important for us to really take a look at it. The reason it's so critical now, because for me, I don't know about you, if you have children, grandchildren, I'm looking at the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you wait? Why wait? What should you be doing? How long have we depended
On the government. Yeah.
on the government?
Yes.
How long have we said, well, I'm just going to sit back, God going to do it, he's going to fix it after a while? That's
Mm-hmm.
why I say there are some songs that people sing, I wish they wouldn't even sing them anymore, because words are powerful. And you
Yeah.
internalize these words. I hear people, they just get so happy when they're singing Jesus is going to fix it after a while. When is after a while? Okay?
Yeah.
And even, I think, I just been analyzing songs, through the gospel path. Pass me not, O gentle Savior. You don't have to ask God to pass you not. He know where you are. He know what you're doing. He know where your faith is. He know what you believe. And he know what you're doing about it. But people don't understand how powerful. Just like when we don't want our children to listen to all this negative rap,
Right,
we
right.
got to make a political move about songs. So I asked the question, what's in a song? It's lyrics. So if we realize how poisonous some of these rap songs were,
Yeah.
and how it impacted a whole generation.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them end up behind bars, behind their belief, behind the words that they heard.
Yeah.
So if this be true, we have to really understand the power of what we
The
sing,
word. Yeah.
the power of what we speak.
Yeah.
So it's time for a new change. I don't like what I see. I don't like what it looks like is going to be handed down to my kids and grandkids with this struggle in this society, with waiting and depending on.
Right.
We're going to put this person in office. A lot of time political, what they do, many of them, they want to keep you mad, keep you upset. And the more they point out the problem and tell you that they can fix it, you relinquish your power to do anything about your situation.
Yeah.
Of this political person said, how many said they were going to end homeless right here in LA? Who
Oh, yeah.
did it?
Who did it? No. Yeah.
Vote for me. I'm going to clean up the street. Then they
Yeah.
run their election on, we're going to lock everybody up who's not doing right. They
Yeah.
run these elections
Yes, they
on
do.
crime, and now they're running on crime and homelessness. And
Yeah.
have any one of those things been fixed? Well, just ask yourself, what have you seen change? Has it been any better? So that's from the political side. So when it comes to, but they're not pushing wealth. Keith, who's pushing wealth from a political standpoint?
The thing is, where are they pushing wealth? Okay, it's not to you.
Okay.
It's not they're pushing wealth. Where are they pushing wealth? Okay, because the banks and the top 5% are getting the wealth. Okay, it's not wealth is where they're pushing them. Even rents and housing. Okay, that's so that the banks and investors can make money.
It's interesting for all these Bible totals. It says in the Bible, it is God who gives you wealth, has the power.
Yes.
And it also says that, I wish that you prosper in health and in wealth. I wonder why Dr. Tate, I don't know if you knew her. Dr. Tate talked about the fact, she said, black folks read the same Bible
Right.
that other folks read.
Uh-huh.
She said, but the other folks take the same scripture
Yeah.
and empower themselves with the same scripture that we de-empower ourselves.
Right.
I hear people, they tell me sometimes, Doc, you're always talking about money and finance. And I said, well, you know what? It is important. If you read the scripture, it tells you that money is the answer.
Yeah.
Money is the answer to all. But they tell me, the Bible said that poor you would have what you always. I said, yeah, it did.
It did.
But it didn't say poor Rosie, okay? Let's get that straight. It didn't put my name there.
In other words, Jesus was saying that the burden of the poor, okay, The burden of the poor will be with you always, and not say that being poor is a good thing. Jesus told you being poor is not a good thing. Okay.
And you know what? And it talks about that
He
in the
talks about
Bible
that.
too. What
Yeah.
happened when people are poor?
Yeah.
And they'll say, you know what? Just take no thought for tomorrow. Words are powerful because people tend not to read the whole scripture or the context. They just take one little segment
Yeah.
out of that.
Right.
With the poor, you're going to have what you always. Take no thought for tomorrow. Take no thought for tomorrow and see what street you would end up on. Will it be Broad Street or Wealth Avenue?
And they also said the weak shall inherit the earth. The thing is, but the weak has to go after their inheritance. Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're seeing it now. But the thing is, you have to struggle for that. Okay. When Jesus talked about the 5 talents, okay, about the talents, okay, and
the folks who are scared to invest, right?
who are scared to invest.
I'm gonna be safe.
Okay, yeah.
I wish a day would come when people read the Bible for themselves and ask God for wisdom to understand it. Because it's so misquoted. Even the verse, and we're gonna move on to the other stuff where it says. If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, that's as far as it goes. That's as far as I hear. But it also say, and turn from your wicked ways. Yes. I don't hear them quoting that part.
No.
Then will you hear from heaven and I heal the land. So all I'm saying out there, folks, the answer, what Stevie Wonder says, blowing in the wind.
Right. Okay. Yes.
So we got to do better. But the point we want people to understand is how did we get in a paralyzed state? We want to look at it. How did it happen? Who told us to wait? Wait on the politician. Wait on the president. Wait on the Lord. What does that mean? What does it really mean when people, which I'm just going to wait on the Lord? We're taking stuff out of context. Wait on the Lord. We take it to the hilt. I'm just going to sit here. I know I'm looking for a job, and I'm just going to wait on the Lord. Folks, that ain't making no sense at all. And I know people are going to be emailing, texting me, but you need to read for yourself.
Yeah, they don't read the verse that said faith without what? Works. They don't read that.
Yeah, and the other thing, when you look at all the miraculous things that happened in the Bible, these people were doing something. What if the children of Israel, I'm just going to wait? No, they was in motion. If they hadn't gotten to the Red Sea, how could they have crossed it? Okay?
Yeah.
If the woman with the issue of blood, if she had not pushed her way, sometimes you have to break rank. She pushed her way through a crowd that said, women not supposed to be out in public when they are bleeding.
Yes.
But she broke rank, and we got to break rank. She was out there. She pushed her way. So what I'm saying to black folks today, you got to be like that woman with the issue of blood. You got to push your way. You got to push your way through the crowd to get where you are trying to go. If she had just stayed home, she couldn't have touched the hem of his garment.
Remember the man that lowered himself from the ceiling to get touched? Okay. He couldn't get in. They climbed to the ceiling, to the roof, and lowered him down. Okay. So
that's right.
He actually had to do something. We got a full panel. Okay. We got a full.
Well, let me just say this, and I'm gonna come back because I know they want to jump in. Yeah, they went there because of their friend. They wanted him to be healed.
Right.
They got to the temple. It was crowded. And you know they ain't gonna let him in. Here you come. I can imagine right now. Where you going with that cart? Don't you see this place is full? Where you going with that crippled man?
Right.
Okay. But they were determined, and that's how we have to be.
They
made a way.
They took action.
They went up on the roof, cut a hole in the roof, and let the man down.
Right.
And he got what he needed. And even the man at the pool, as we talk about it, I ain't trying to preach to you. I'm trying to give you some information to show you that we got to stop all this waiting and get up. Right. He could have spoke and healed that man that was laying by the poolside, but what did he tell him? You're going to do something.
Yes.
Take up your bed and walk. You
yes.
have to tell him to take up his bed and walk. He's showing us that you got to get off your Humpty Dumpty and do
Do
something, and
something.
that still has not changed. So, folks,
Hmm.
if we want to move to the next direction,
Yeah.
you want to own, you want to empower, you want to have some control, you got to do something. That's all
Right.
I want to say. You got to do something.
Yeah.
Before I go on and on, I know we got a lot of people on here, but we have become paralyzed because we're waiting on the politician
Waiting on a
and we're
politician. Yeah.
waiting on
Yeah.
God.
Waiting on
What we're
God.
waiting for?
Yeah.
He's already here. He
Yeah.
always been here, never left. He's waiting on you.
Even down to the school board to teach your own children. Okay, we're waiting on them.
Yes,
Okay,
waiting on them to teach him everything.
teach them everything. They can't read, but the thing is, okay, we're upset. We don't even go down to the school board about him not being able to read. We just get upset. Okay.
Kids, let me tell you something. The older people that came before us,
Yeah.
they didn't have degrees, but I'm telling y'all, they had some sense and wisdom.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of our people are missing.
Yeah.
When I came up, you guys, it's been a long time. You know, I ain't gonna even tell you how long. Well, I'm 80, so you can imagine how long that's been.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't go to school, Dr. Andre, to learn how to read. We was reading when we got to
We
school.
got to school. Yes.
So we were waiting on the teacher. Somebody said to me that their student had graduated from high school. And you know what they said to me?
What?
Doc, you know what? They can't even read. I said, wait, where you been? Wait, 12 years?
Yeah.
You didn't know they couldn't read? So, folks, all I'm saying, it's time to step in your control. It's
Control.
time for you to take charge.
Yes.
You take charge, then you teach your children how to take charge.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
nobody is over you. Stop
Yeah.
talking about what the man won't let me do. Ain't nobody putting no man over you.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time I hear somebody say that, I want to slap them across the head. Saying to your kids, here your little child see your boy. You telling him, well, the man got his foot on my neck. He'll only let you get so far. Black folks,
Yeah.
y'all better change your thinking. You better understand that you have more power
Mm-hmm.
than you think you have.
Yeah.
So stop giving it away. Stop giving it away.
Especially right here, more power. People have more power right now than they've ever had in the history of the world. Okay.
That's right. And I wonder, Keith, how many people have ever written a letter to their representative?
Yeah.
How
Okay.
many have written a letter to the White House? How many have written a letter to the mayor of that city?
Yes.
They just talking to each other.
Even your school board. Okay. You know how much I got done just by sending an email to a school board? All my
Makes a
children had
difference.
problems. All I did was send an email to the school board and the principal. Okay. And within a week,
Wow.
that problem got solved. Okay.
It got, wow.
Yeah.
So, folks, let me tell you something. We're not talking about anti-God. We're not talking about anti-church, anti-voting, because some people decide they don't want to vote. The anti-dependency. Now, you're going to find the day coming when a lot of people, this young generation,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be surprised how they are going to opt out of church. They're going to opt out of the political system because
Mhm.
they don't see any fruits in it. So don't be mad because I'm saying it. Because they would not want to serve the God you serve when you telling them that, oh, God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Well, why can't I get a piece of, I don't eat bacon, but those who do, they're
Mhm.
going to ask the question, why can't I get a piece of bacon?
Mm-hmm.
Folks, all I'm trying to wake you up is to think outside of the box. You don't have to be at the bottom of the bottom. Don't make that choice. Younger people gonna bail out of the political system because they say they ain't did enough for me lately. What they doing for me? Is that a legitimate question to ask?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody open up, talk to me. Is that a legitimate question for the young generation to ask? Why should I vote?
Yeah, it's a legitimate question.
legitimate question.
It's legitimate, and you should have an answer for them. Yeah. Okay. You just open up your mic and jump in. It's kind of free flowing. So I don't know who wants to speak first. If not, me and Dr. Rosie can roll for another hour or so.
I see a young
I will
entrepreneur.
speak.
Go ahead, jump in.
I think, yeah, they need to be, when they say why, you have to explain.
And who, you
My,
got to remember who's speaking because a lot of this is
oh,
going to
I'm
be audio.
Andrea Harkless.
Okay. All right,
My
Andrew, go ahead.
grandmother took me when I turned 18,
Mm-hmm.
and she told me the importance of why I should vote.
Okay.
So I read all of the information every time I get it to see
Mm-hmm.
what's what. I keep up with stuff online and all over. But yes, and I did the same thing with my son. I made him register to vote, and I told him you need to read all of this. If you didn't, if you had questions, ask.
And
Okay.
and the second thing is you should know the email address and a Twitter account because the most of them have Twitter accounts now of your reps, your council members, your reps, and your senator. Okay,
That's right.
True,
When they don't
I've
read.
been to their office.
you've been
Okay.
in their office exactly. Okay.
But if more people, Andre, do that, most people
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I have a town hall meeting. In fact, I have a town hall meeting tonight at the Power Love Ministry at 1430 West Manchester Avenue in LA. That's just west of Normandy. And I prepared a list of the everyone that you could contact from the Board of Education, your city council, even the chief of police. We need these numbers should be at your fingertip, okay?
Yeah.
And we need to talk to them when things are not going well. I go down some streets and I see some things that really ridiculous, whole potholes, all types of stuff happening, trash every place. And I say, did you guys call anybody about that? No, I had one client. You know how the root from trees busts up the sidewalk
Yes.
right there in the
Yes.
front of his house that you could fall, and I was wondering how many people have already gotten hurt.
Right.
So he said, well, we've been complaining about it. I went with him over Vermont to the
Mm-hmm.
city council's office.
Okay.
Okay. And when we finished over there, guess
Mm-hmm.
what? The next week,
Yeah.
they came out and fixed that street.
Right.
We just see it. Ooh, that's a shame. Ooh, look at all these potholes. Look at these trees. There are trees, the limbs that's out so far that you can't even see the stop sign. Anybody
Right.
ever seen that in your community? You
Yes.
can't even see the stop
Yes.
sign until you're there. And whenever I see that, I'm saying to myself, I wonder if anybody made a call.
Yeah.
All they have to do is come cut the tree,
Yes. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
and sometimes they're not even aware of it.
they're not, same thing.
Yeah.
Our people who represent us are not aware
Mm-hmm.
of many other things that's confronting us
Mm-hmm.
because they don't come down Manchester. They don't know what's going on over by my office. They
Right.
don't come down your street,
Yeah.
Brenda. They don't come down your street, Elaine. So how they gonna know if nobody tells them?
Yeah. Exactly.
When there's an accident every other day on a certain street, how do they know we need to put a stop sign here, a flashing light? How do they know?
Right. They don't
Sitting
unless you let them.
and waiting.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, stop sitting, stop waiting, stop hoping.
Yeah.
It's strategy that changes things. Not you talking, not you marching, not you picketing. It's strategy.
And you got the device in your hand anyway because you're on Facebook. Okay. You're on Twitter. You got the tab because my mother, she's Dr. Rosie's age, and she sit there with that tablet and that smartphone in her chair all day long. Okay, all you gotta do is pick it up and shoot an email, shoot a tweet.
And Keith, think about what
Mm-hmm.
happened. Now we could have marched around Target till the cows came home.
Right.
But when Jamal Bryant said, let's don't shop there,
Mm-hmm.
policy change, right?
Right.
So, folks, you got to stop talking and you got to stop walking. You got to put some energy. You got to put some elbow grease behind what you want. You can't just sit and wait.
Right.
Stop waiting on the politician and stop just saying, I'm waiting on God.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you waiting on from? He's already there. You act like he down the block and you here. You know how we're waiting on somebody to come pick us up.
Right. And you know, the biggest question, Dr. Rosie, that will get politicians' attention is how much money is being spent and where does it go?
You know what? Let me tell you right now. I had asked my city councilman about supporting Black Writers on Tour, which is
Right.
coming up April 25th. Y'all want to be there. This is
Okay.
the 30th annual Black Writers on Tour plus business plus AI Expo. So
Okay.
I got an email back saying, well, we're not going to be able to, to support you
Mm-hmm.
on this event. Okay, so guess what my move is? I want to know
Mm-hmm.
your discretionary fund. I want to know who did you give it to last year. And
Yeah.
guess what? Did you guys know that I have a right to know
Yes.
that Les Best to show up?
Yes.
Because I know you've been giving it to the same people, your favorite, your hobnob, those who are
Mm-hmm.
always in your face.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we got power.
You have power.
He's going to tell me
Mm-hmm.
who his discretionary funds went to last year.
Exactly.
Holler if you hear me, you guys.
Now, where did it go, and how much was
Amen.
spent, and how, and what criteria did you give it to them on?
Absolutely. And how
Exactly.
long you been giving it to
And
the
how long you been
same
getting in
people?
person? Yeah.
And what are their goals? What are their purpose?
Yeah.
What are their mission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Okay, y'all. Come on, Brenda, you guys. We done talked enough. We're talking about politicians. We're talking about religious policies. We talking about other
Yeah.
words. We talking about get up off your
Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty.
And we got to get a moment of silence for Jesse Jackson because he passed yesterday.
Absolutely. 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 Man, you have done great work.
Been doing
You
great work.
know, we talked this morning about the good work he did.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes people, we can do 99 pieces of good work,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do one
Mm-hmm.
that the people don't like, and they tend to remember the one versus the 99. That's the same thing with friends and
Exactly.
relatives.
Right.
You can, every time they call you, can you loan me this? Can you
Yeah.
take me here? Can you
Yeah.
do this? Yes, yes. But that one no will
Mm-hmm.
cancel out all of your yes. If you've been there and done that, somebody put it in the chat. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat. How they will cancel out all of your yeses for one little no.
Well, no. Yes. Okay.
We're going to pause and allow you all. I know Elaine, Dr. Andre, Mel Vonte, one of our young entrepreneurs. You guys, he's doing it, putting things together to really help these young people to
Yeah.
empower themselves. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
offer them what the schools has not offered them. He's going to offer them what the parents has not taught them, because you can't teach what you don't know. And I'm so proud of him, because when you're trying to deal with young people, sometimes they don't need no 80-year-old person trying to tell them something. They want a young Mel Vonte. Am I right? So that's why we got to teach our kids to jump
Thank you,
up and
Dr.
jump
Rosie.
up.
Appreciate you saying that. Sometimes they don't want a 52-year-old either, which I'm 52 right now, so I may be considered old. But yeah, I decided to take on something that was heavy on my mind, and it was actually, taking the youth and creating a program to teach entrepreneurship, personal
Mm.
development, and
Right.
financial literacy, because those are the three areas I see that's lacking in the community. And it's one of those things where everybody on this phone, when it came to getting through life early on, we do it by making mistakes. We do it by trial and error. And by the
Mm-hmm.
time you look up, you're 30, 35, 40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Credit may be bad, may not be a homeowner, don't know how to invest, and all these things. And you just look back once you start to learn those things and say, golly, I wish somebody would have taught me this when I
Yeah.
was younger.
Right.
So I wanted to create a program that starts, early on in the teenage years, where we start to teach people what it takes to be successful in America, not only as a personal development side, but also building your own wealth, by creating your own businesses. If you look at the atmosphere and the lay of the land, out there today. A lot of people lost their job. DEI went away. A lot of people losing jobs there. Hiring is decreasing. A lot of people losing jobs there. Well, one of the things about regular school, it only teaches us how to go get a job. I figure, well, don't we need some place that youth can learn how to create their own incomes and their own businesses for themselves? Because at the end of the day, just like I was at the mercy of my job when COVID hit and I got laid off and looked up and said, well, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I can lose this paycheck at any given time and I have absolutely no control over it whatsoever? So it's about developing, creating our own businesses and ways of generating income for ourselves. And then thirdly, the knowledge of financial literacy, knowing what to do with money, knowing how credit works, knowing interest going out versus interest coming in, knowing compound interest, knowing how investments in the stock market work. So these are things I wanted to take on in teaching the youth because at the end of the day, I wanted to help, close the wealth gap by doing it one teen at a time.
Right.
Thank you, Malvante. Now, you mentioned something. You said the schools teach them how to get a job. Let me correct you that. They don't.
They don't.
They teach them to get a job.
To get a job.
Okay?
Yeah.
They teach them to get a job, but not how to get a job. That they do not teach.
No.
Okay? So that's, we're again, we waiting on somebody. These are your kids. These are your grandchildren. So don't wait on anybody to take them where they need to go. No, so now I want you guys put in the chat if there's anybody out there who have some of these I wish I had or if I had known. Put it in the chat. If anybody out there, because that's what he just talked about. We don't want this next generation to live on I wish I had or I wish somebody had told me. Y'all feel me?
Right.
I wish somebody had told me. I wished I had done this. Because the mistakes that we made when I was coming up, you didn't pay the kind of price for the mistakes that you're paying today.
True.
Okay? True. You messed your credit up. When you went to college, everybody wanted to give you a credit card. You messed it up. But now, you have hostage for 7 years with your bad credit. Come on now, you guys. So we got to stay ahead of the curve. We stopping right now because me and Keith is on the roll because I'm tired of seeing what I'm seeing. I'm tired of people feeling like all I have to do is vote and go home and sit down.
No, yeah.
You've been voting for years. Your homeless population is worse than it ever been.
Yeah.
You're the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to jobs. You at the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah.
There's disparity in the medical system. I can't tell you how badly a lot of black folks are being treated in these medical facilities, how they're being ignored. Little black boy go into the emergency room 3 or 4 times with a headache that think he wants some drugs. He think he wants Tylenol. Okay? But you've been voting. You've been praying. I'm not telling you not to vote, and I'm not telling you to stop praying. I'm telling you that you have a responsibility. You can make things happen that have never happened before. So don't have your children waiting on the politician to make some change. Get in line and get before them and encourage them and tell them what changes they need to make. Okay. Ellis, I know you got something to say, Dr. Andre. Come on, talk to us.
Jump in. You don't have to wait
want
on
to just be,
just jump in.
We're not trying to discourage your faith. We're not trying to discourage you from voting, but we're trying to say don't wait till election and find out who you voted for. Don't wait till we need some report cards. What have they done?
The thing is, you can check on these people daily. You don't have to wait for them to come to office. You can check on these people daily, get voting records. You can track what they voted on.
What did they vote for? All these
kind of issues. You can track them daily, and you can get in touch with them daily if you want to. You can tweet or email them every day.
I think everybody on here needs to write to their representative, and you can go findmyrepresentative.com. Okay, now. The reason I'd say you should be writing to them and tell all your friends to just ask them a question. Ask them, how do you feel? What do you feel about Proposition 19? The biggest land grab that I've ever seen, that's robbing the next generation of their home. Your parents die, leave you a house, you don't move in it,
Yeah.
the tax goes up to market value. Will everybody on here commit yourself to write to your representative?
Yeah.
You want to know how they feel about that. We are out here trying to gather petitions to change that. We shouldn't have to do that.
What you want to find out is who the stakeholders, because like she said, follow the money. Who is
Big,
who?
I'm sure they big businesses.
They probably are. They probably are investing in big business things. We got to find out who. We got to put a name to the face.
Or at
It's
least
not
find
money.
out every law, everything that passed.
Yeah.
You should want to know how this person voted on it. You
Yeah.
voting for them, you don't even know what they think. They done voted you out.
Yeah, because they have to give a name. They have to give a name
That's
of
right.
whoever tried to sponsor this bill. Okay, who are these people and who's connected to them, and what's their agenda? Okay, we can do that. We couldn't do that before, but the thing is, we live in an information age. We can do that now.
You guys, we have power to
We have
change
power.
things.
We have power to change things now.
I was talking to a gentleman called me, and he was talking about, he wanted to talk about the church and the pastors. I said, I'm not going to let you. Well, they ain't doing nothing for the community. I said, I'm not going to let you talk, because it's one man who's the pastor, and
Yeah.
you got 200,000 people sitting there, and
Yeah.
you telling me how things are, then what are your responsibilities? There may be some changes that your pastor would make if he only knew about some of the stuff that you know about.
Yes.
So I'm not going to let people, put the blame on the church, the pastor. No, it's the
Yeah.
members, it's
Yeah.
the citizen,
Yeah.
it's the individual. So we're going to take it off of that one man and say you got a congregation of, I ain't going to say that. Go ahead on. Somebody get it. Andre, come on, talk to us, Dr. Andre.
Well, I totally agree how important it is for us to come together and educate one another. I also used to be one of those. Well, I still am. I'm not going to say used to be, but I think the church has a huge responsibility to educate their members and their non-members, because you have a lot of churches, especially mega churches, people aren't even members. They just go because they just heard about it. But I just think that it's important, if you have people in the church who are educators, who are politicians, that they come together and educate the pastor, because people want to think that pastors are educated and they know everything, but they don't. And so I think it's, like you said, it's the responsibility of the congregation and those who are in leadership positions outside of the church to come together and educate the pastors so that all members can be educated. But great show, great information.
You're absolutely right. You guys, when you hear the word church, that's not pastor. So people at the church doing this, well, they equate the church with just the pastor. It's made up of the congregation.
It is. That's why
So
I call
it's
it a church.
important for us to take our power. And Dr. Andre is right. Many times they have no clue. Here you're setting up with principals and teachers, educators, and here you got half of your congregation can't read, and you over the pulpit talking about study to show yourself approved. Read. You want them to read the Bible. How many of them can read and how many cannot? So it is incumbent upon all of us to take our share of the part that we can become whole again. We cannot leave this next generation in the shape that we're leaving them. We need to talk about, we have to pivot. I was telling a lady, she was talking about, when my daddy died, but I can't pay this note, I guess I lose this house. Did you guys hear what I said?
Yeah.
I said, how many bedrooms? Said 3, and you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
You're going to lose it. Do you realize how many people are willing to rent a room? People are paying $1,500
Right.
and more to rent a room. One lady said to me that somebody told her, well, you paying $1,500, you could be buying your own place. You can't buy no place for no $1,500.
No.
But she said, I happily pay this $1,500. I don't pay utility.
Mm-hmm.
I have use of the kitchen and everything, and she's absolutely right. But sometimes we have not stepped into the new time and the new tune. It's totally different. It's not what it was even 5 years ago when it comes to rent. How you gonna lose a house and you got 3 bedrooms and you're gonna lose the house because you don't think you can pay the note? Holler if you hear me, somebody. Now you know that but we got to have these conversations because she never thought of it. There's a lot of things that people have not thought of. So when you learn, you become the teacher, Andre. You become the teacher. Brenda, what you got to say? Brenda don't know what quiet is. Girl, open your mouth. I know Brenda got something to say, and I'm surprised Elaine ain't said nothing. Come on, Brenda.
You know, Dr. Rosie, I've just been sitting and listening to the conversation, and something came to mind that happened a few days ago. I was looking at YouTube, a video, and I saw an interview with Obama.
Okay.
And I thought what was very interesting about the interview was that the interviewer asked him, what did he think about this, where Trump had put the face of a monkey on both Obama and Michelle.
Right.
And the interviewer asked Obama, what did he think of that? And he basically said, you know, I didn't give it any thought at all because I considered the source,
right,
the ignorance of the source, the office of the presidency, the day that we're living in right now. So he said, there are so many things that are more important. And he said, one of the things is that he shared was, do you think that I got elected by myself? He said it was young people and their technology, how they got the word out.
Right.
It was different and unprecedented. It had never happened before. How the young people took to Twitter and all of these social medias, and they put a message out that was so wide and so vast that that's how he got over. And I think that is the key. If you look at the civil rights movement, those older people couldn't risk losing their jobs, so they taught their young kids
just sit at the
what
counter.
the issues.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
And they taught the young people, they passed on the importance of the message that was happening, what was happening politically in their lives to their children. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to educate our young people so that they can use that tool that most of us older people don't know all there is to know about how to get the message out to the masses of people. And so I think, again, it boils down to just really being committed to teaching our young people, because I have 3 grandchildren. 2 have graduated college and 1 is still in college. And they go to Bible studies, and they have small cell groups of people that are talking about the issues of the day. So we just have to just press upon them to use that platform that they're so familiar with to put that message out, and don't let that message just stay in their little cell group.
Absolutely. And we need to make things relevant. See, back in the days when we would march and sitting in at the counter, because, these people, we were going to school where we had hand-me-down books, tore up books, couldn't go to certain schools, your schools ran down. So the young people, it was relevant to them that they wanted something. This was for them. What are we showing the young people? What is for them in the political Super Bowl? What's in there? Think about it. Somebody asked me, what's put on the table? It's not saying, well, we're going to cancel your school loans. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. What's on the table? Now, they vote because we tell them to vote. Now, you see, but when you put something needs to be on the table, because they are the generation that's going to be in that homeless line if this real estate does not change, if this rent does not change, if these tuition keep going up. So who's running that on their ticket. Something got to be in the pot. That what's in it for me gonna be important. Okay, they saw Obama as a younger person that could relate to them. They feel at least, he probably can relate because they tired of seeing all those old farts sitting up there in Congress.
All them old white people, yeah.
Yeah, well, just and the black one too. That's old and ain't no. They want a representation. We want somebody who look like us, who understand us. We want somebody who can feel our struggle, who may not be there now, but have been there. That's important. That is important. Then we can get more young people out, but they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it from political now. Many of them not seeing it from the church standpoint. So we got to change. So this show is not about putting any one of those down. It's about lifting people up so they can help the people who's supposed to be helping us, help them to help us, make them aware, and when they don't do something about it, then we need to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, make the city council record their meetings and put it up on YouTube or Zoom or something, right? Make them put it up. Make them put it up on Facebook, where you actually sit there and watch and see what's passed and what kind of policies out there. There's plenty of tech to actually do that now.
And how did you vote? And what was your opinion?
And the things they don't want to be known. They want all they want you to do is know their name during election time. Okay?
That's right. And after that,
and after they want to disappear. Yeah.
And what some of us should do for the churches that you're in, before one of them come and get over the pulpit at your church, the pastor need to tell you, why are you allowing this person to be there?
Yeah.
Would you allow me to come up there and start announcing what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Can I go from church to church and tell the people y'all need a living trust on Sunday morning? Nah. Okay? So why are you letting these jokers?
Yes.
You don't see them any other time. Run up in the pulpit, take up your time, because they know if the pastor endorse you, they know they got all that members. Because many times people don't read for themselves, but pastor said. Black folk good with pastor said. But what did you say? What did you know?
And, if they're gonna come up in your church and put themselves out there, have them leave a stack of their cards, their business cards.
Well, folks,
and just when the plate goes around, pass around that business card so you know exactly who it is and how to reach this person that you want to endorse.
But let me say this: the myth of political protection is really a myth.
It is.
How we mistaken symbolic representation for economic power. Ask you a few questions. What policy have actually increased black ownership? Name one. Put it in the chat. Why do we mobilize voters but not capital? The myth of God. Okay. God will fix it. Scripture calls for stewardship, didn't it?
Yes.
It called for ownership. It even tells you if it's a leave an inheritance for your children. And if you ain't got nothing, you can't leave nothing, right?
That's true.
But that's what the scripture says. Ownership. Look, the early black church was the pillar. You guys, did you know that blacks own, I think it was 56 hospitals in this United States?
They do? Okay.
They did. They did.
Oh, they did. Okay.
They built black churches. They built banks. They built schools. When there was no schools for their children to go to, their school was in the church house. We need to look back. A lot of people, you're always looking back. You always talking about the past. You better learn something about the past. They moved builders. When did we move from builders, Pastor Penn? When did we move from builders to beggars? Well, y'all, come on, we can't say this because we nonprofit and folks take our money. You can't say what's right. If your people are taught right, whether they got a little tax write-off or not, other people support causes because it means something to them. If you're only giving because you want a little tax write-off, we sure been bamboozled, hook, wink, You know? Yeah. Well, if
Yeah,
I
man.
can't write it off, that doesn't make sense. When you write it off, you ain't got that much to write off no way. And if it doesn't, if you believe God can replenish what you have, why are you worried about the tax write-off when the people are perishing in your community, in your house, and all around you, but you worried about a little 10-cent tax write-off?
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a break.
Anthony,
Pastor Penn, talk to me.
yeah,
Dependency versus dominion. Welfare versus wealth building. Relief versus ownership.
mm,
Protesting instead of producing. Come on,
mm-hmm.
talk to me, Pastor.
Good morning, my friend. Hi. Yeah, and peace and blessings, and may God bless all of you on this call this morning. You know, Rosie, what would we do if we didn't have someone that had an eye on the prize and would call a spade, forgive the analogy.
Do we have someone like
I
that?
once heard a very educated person say that the more we became educated, the more we developed
Yes,
people with masters and doctorates,
yes,
the more
Ooh,
we
you better
became
say it.
afraid of telling the truth
yes.
because we did get our little piece of the pie and
We
we
did.
became afraid of having that piece of the pie taken
Taken
away
away.
from us.
Say that
And
again. Say that
yeah,
again. That's what happened. Yeah.
the more we became educated,
Mm-hmm.
the more we became afraid of just telling the truth
Mm-hmm.
because we were that closer to, I don't know, the source, the income, the
Mm-hmm.
receiving, the material affectations that we all longed for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into a big history lesson, but suffice it to say that we just have to keep trying to speak truth to power, and that is continually going to be difficult because we have so many distractions. We do get tired. We have the kids, we have the neighbors, we have the cousins, we have the sisters, we have the brothers.
Right.
And sometimes the job of the church, and this is just one man speaking, is to provide a peace.
Yeah, it is.
It's to provide. It is to give people a name that they can call upon, so they can have a moment to just recharge their batteries, a belief system, a hope. When we had nothing, we called upon the name of the Lord,
Yeah.
and we had absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, when we were freed in 1861 and the Emancipation Proclamation and all of that, statistically speaking, we were not supposed to survive past 1890 with the resources that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are spouting off evidence of us having had 56 different black hospitals throughout the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have always been builders. Yes, we can depend upon ourselves. Yes, we have pulled together. But the common thing is to cause us to believe that we can't work together, that we don't get along, that we don't love each other, that we're our worst enemy. Yeah, we have seen evidence of those kind of things, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not the truth. That is not the
Absolutely.
truth. At 72, I do remember when the last thing I worried about was a black man hurting me. I could go around the neighborhood and black men will look out over us as children. Boy, you better take yourself home before I tell your mama. And we've gotten away from those kinds of things. So I'm away from the question you had asked me, Rosie, and that is why we are not producers.
Yeah, while we're
Why we are
beggars.
not producers. The Marcus Aurelius, this goes way back into time, and the philosopher, the Stoic philosopher, he said, and I paraphrase, the way through the problem is the problem itself.
Yes.
Right. Hey,
And so,
Pastor,
go ahead, please.
let me say this because we're coming close to close.
Yes.
You asked a powerful question.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we dependent? You guys, you purchase my book, the one, Nigger Please. I know you don't like the term. Purchase that book.
We
It
use it all the
tells
time,
you
though.
that how we would socialize into this,
Yes.
Pastor. Just like what happened, God did not create man to feed the horses. Did you know that? No. He got to grab, that was not their job. But what they did to the horses, the mules, it's the same they did to us.
Exactly.
They started bringing the food to hay at a certain time of day, and they forgot they were feeding themselves. So they start coming, and then they would wait for the man to bring the food for them. then they become dependent. That's
Exactly.
the same thing that happened to us.
Yeah.
Let's give you this check. Let's do this. When we were freed, the people said, well, still, what am I going to do? I don't have no place to go. This system of dependency, Pastor, was brought to us on purpose. And then the horses forgot that, well, hey, I will feed myself before man showed up. That's deep. Get the book, you guys. You got to read the whole story as how it has shaped black women in this country to become, is what we call independent. She's the only person say, I can do bad all by myself. She was taught that she could not depend on her man. Y'all got to go back to read how, if you know how you got into a situation, you can strategize to get out. But nobody want to talk about this, Pastor. I've been talking about this for years, and they try to get me to shut up.
The black.
But I'm not gonna shut up.
I'm
gonna put it on. I'm gonna write in script. I want them to put it on my tombstone.
Oh, this is why we love you, Rosie, because it takes somebody with a clear vision to keep saying what needs to be said so that we can align ourselves with the work that we have to do so that we can learn how to pull in the same direction, where 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 of us can pull in the same direction. My wife asked me the other day, she says, why is it years ago when we were younger, we didn't pull together and buy more real estate?
Okay.
And I go, that's because we were worried about the one who wouldn't carry their own weight versus the ones that would carry their own weight. We focus on the negative instead of focusing on the positive. And that brings me full circle back to the place that religion has in this whole thing. Religion used correctly will focus us on the positive and let go of the negative, let go of all the things, because we're all going to have bad things take place. But it gives us a chance to forgive, to love your fellow, love God first, love your fellow man second. We make it much more complicated. I mean, that's what Jesus said. Love God first, love your fellow man second. It gets down to being just that simple. And so once we start learning how to love each other, then we're going to start learning how to trust each other. Then we're going to get back to building the way we used to build.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you guys listen up real good. Does the Bible say, where 2 or 3 come together, touching and agree, that whatever they're asking for, it can happen? So, I'm going to leave it right there. Has 2 or 3. See, you come together, touching, but are you in agreement, in alignment? They don't bring that part. In alignment with what God say. See, you can come together and agree. Let's go rob somebody. Y'all agree, you go do that. I'm just trying to wake the flock up to read the scripture and apply, as my daddy said, put some mother with it. Am I making sense, y'all?
Yeah.
Put some mother with it so we can move to the next level. I'm just calling out for everybody. Write to your representative. Make sure you ask them. Just ask them, what are your feelings about Proposition 19?
Right.
That's robbing our kids of their inheritance. Folks, do not become paralyzed with religion. Do not become paralyzed with politicians. Don't just wait on God. You don't have to wait on him. He already here. I may tell, I'm trying to go someplace and I don't have a ride, so I tell Pastor Penn, can you pick me up? So I'm waiting on him.
Right.
Because he got to come from somewhere.
Right.
God is already there. So do your part. Like I said, everybody, if you look in the Bible, they had to do something. The woman with the issue of blood, she had to get up out that house. She had to push her way through the crowd.
Right.
The men who took their friend to be healed, they had to cut a hole through the roof. What are you willing to do?
And what did she do? She grabbed for the hem of his garment, right?
Yes.
She didn't just sit there. She grabbed for him, okay?
That's
she
right.
reached out to him, okay? She had to do something, yeah.
That's right. And the blind man who sat on the wayside, he heard that Jesus was coming.
Yes.
Okay? So they tried to make him be quiet, Pastor.
Yes.
You be hush up. There's still folks trying to make you hush up when you're trying to start a business.
Right.
When you're trying to do something, you still got those people who saying, hush.
Yes. Yep.
But I want to leave you with today, you need to cry out the louder. They ain't shutting me up. Because I know what the word said and I believe it. So I act on it. I don't have to see it. If he said it, I believe it. But I don't think I consider it to wish him well. Y'all got these folks sitting there to wish him well. Oh, I wish they would do this. I wish they would fix this street. I wish they would have better schools. I wish they would help us start a business. Madam C.J. Walker had $1.50 and she started her business. Mary McLeod Bethune had a very small amount. Wasn't no SBA. I'm done, y'all, because I'm about to jump through this, jump over the fence. I believe we can do it. If you all believe we can make a change with the right knowledge, put it in the chat.
Yes, we can.
So I don't think it over to the fat lady singing. She didn't sing yet. Put it in the chat. If you think we can do this thing, let's do it. Can we do it, Pastor Penn?
We can do it.
Yes,
and
we
are
can.
we going to do it? We can.
All we got to do is we have more power now than we've ever had with any group of people on the face of the earth. Okay.
That's what this show is about.
That's what it's about.
The power rests in you. Tell your children the power rests in you.
Yeah.
Folks, the clock on the wall said that song. I see Ron Beat It jumped on. I appreciate you all. And I wish you all would pass the message down when you hear about this show, because we are not playing up here. If I want to play, I go to the park. That's what I do when I want to play. I am serious about this change, and it's going to happen. We've been pushed to the bottom now, as Dr. Anderson say. I think we can look up, Pastor Penn.
What happens when you get to the bottom of the pool, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You got to plant your feet and bounce back up. Right?
We can look up.
Yeah.
You guys, Carolyn Greer, different other people on here, everybody who are listening, next Tuesday, same time, same place, same truth, same boldness. You guys have a great day as you go on your way. And this show is being recorded.
Thank you, Dr. Rosie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rosie.
Thank you, Dr. Rosie.
Thank you.
Smooches.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you always.
Mm-hmm.